Hey guys, so let's talk about Baka Test. Yes, Baka Test. This is a anime that of course takes place in high school. It starts out with this entrance exam. The entrance exam is really important because it determines, what class you're going to be in, and they're really stringent about, grades in this school, and you end up in like A class, you get cookies and servants and shit. If you end up in F class, you get cardboard boxes. So it's really important to end up in a higher level class. Well, so the main character ends up taking this test, and he's taking it, and he looks over and he sees this girl, and she looks really sick, and she's like, looking sick, I guess. And he goes, he's trying to basically convince the head teacher who's monitoring the test to, help her out somehow, take her to the nurse or something. And basically the guy's like, oh, fuck her. And he ends up basically trying to help her out. And because of that, they both end up failing the test. And they both end up in class F. Yes. And so they're in class F, and they're kind of upset about it, and the entire class decides to basically try to flip the system. And it turns out that in this school, for whatever fucking reason, they have these avatar things, and you can challenge other schools with these avatar, or other classes with these avatar, and if you end up winning, you get their stuff, right? That's kind of the whole thing about this series. And they end up challenging all these classes to battles and stuff, and the battles are actually really kind of interesting, because your avatar's power is dictated by your test score. Okay, so it's an interesting idea for an anime. Also, one of the things I love because of the marketing ability, like whoever came up with the avatars had some brilliant thought, like, because these avatars look just like plushies, and it's like, somebody marketing was working that day. Anyway, so that's a big component of the series, but it's not just, test battles and stuff. The series also does a lot of, I guess, cliches, but they kind of keep them fresh because it's not really a love story. It's kind of, well, I guess I should say what kind of cliches, but they kind of use a lot of anime cliches, like they do the whole letter in the, love letter, I guess, and then they do pool day, or I guess swimming day, and they do, kind of cliches in anime, kind of common plot development tactics. But because it's like a pure comedy instead of being really serious, it stays kind of fresh. Also, there's so many different sub-jokes going on that it doesn't get stale, which has been a lot of, like, kind of a problem in a lot of animes, is that, you hear the same joke like 1,000 times. You do hear the same joke quite a few times in this anime. However, it's just not to the same extent, which was kind of refreshing. Also, they play around a lot with like sexuality and stuff, and it's reasonably entertaining. It's actually kind of funny what they do with it. I actually laughed out loud. LOL. That was really sad, but quite a bit in this series. It was actually really kind of funny. But it's not a very deep series. It's just a comedy. It's just a comedy, pure and simple. Frankly, it's not. What's refreshing about it is the last few comedies I've seen have either been like K-On! And stuff, or something kind of like that, like Lucky Star. There's a lot of series kind of like that where it's funny, don't get me wrong, but in a lot of ways this is kind of like older time anime comedy techniques just refreshed, and it's kind of interesting to watch how they've changed it up and how they've kept it kind of the same. So it's an interesting thing to watch. The animation technique, like if I was trying to explain what anime looked like, a picture of this anime would come into my mind, because it kind of has all the stereotypical things about anime in it. Like, all the characters have really different colored hair and stuff, and I don't know, I don't want to go through all the stereotypes, but it's just kind of got that essence that is anime. Like, this wouldn't exist in any other format, seemingly. So in that sense, I really like the style, but at the same time, it's nothing that's really amazing. It's not like you're going to look at this and you're going to say, oh, the shots are beautiful, I'm going to buy this. Nah, it's just like the everyday kind of anime style. Though the backgrounds, I think they do some interesting stuff with it on occasion. The voice actors are good, not great. You know, I'd give them almost even slightly above average. They have a pretty good cast. The music didn't really stick out to me. Didn't really grab me at all. But it wasn't necessarily that bad either. What are the other technicals? I think that's basically it with the technicals. But would I recommend this to somebody? I think if you're into comedy animes, like animes without real deep plots, go for it. It's funny. It's not like K-On! Funny. It's a slightly different kind of comedy. More just pure comedy than K-On!, which is hard to believe. But I don't know. It was interesting. The storyline doesn't really develop that much. I mean, like, there is some basic development with the characters, but you're not really watching it for the plot. You're just watching for the next joke, really. Though the wars, I really like the whole aspect of these classes declaring war on each other. That was really interesting to watch. And if there's a season 2 on Netflix, I'm going to check it out. I know I should have probably checked if there was one, but last couple times I checked, they usually just have season 1, it seems. So I didn't even bother this time. I guess I should have. But if I was gonna rank this, I think that is funny, but it's not like Lucky Star funny. So I don't know. Even for comedy anime, I'd say it's pretty middle of the road. Though I did like this, so I'm gonna give it a 3.2 out of 5, which isn't amazing, but it is a pretty funny series. And if you got time to kill and you don't want to watch anything too dark, too seriously, this is a good choice. The one thing I will say is that they have they have, I guess what I want to say is they got fan service, but it's like not really hardcore fan service, if that makes sense. Like, I've seen fan service a lot worse than this, but it's definitely there. If you're against that kind of stuff, as long as it's not too blatant, I don't really have a problem with it. And even if it's too blatant, I don't really care, as long as the plot's decent. But the other thing I'll say, the one joke that they totally overuse, the one thing that they totally overuse in this series is the bloody nose thing. That it got old after episode 2. I just was, it was like whenever it came on, I was like, why do you keep going back to this? But I don't know. For one joke to be annoying in an anime that's just full of, attempts at comedy, I guess, isn't a bad thing. That's not that bad. So they overuse that way too much. And, I don't know what else to say. That's basically it. Subscribe, comment, rate. I hope you guys have a great day. And I guess that's it. Bye.